Hey, it's Asania, baby.
Hey, it's Deshaun, baby.
And it's a light bulb moment.
Hell yeah. It's a motivational podcast.
Show is.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
It is.
Mm-hmm. Y'all check it out. Check it out.
Get on my face.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Lite-Bulb Moment podcast, and I'm Deshaun. I have to say it like this because last time when I just said it regularly, I was told I was lame. So I gotta say it like fucking Ricky Lake every time we press play. Shit. So the audience clapping in the background and shit. Wow, ta-da, watch out now.
Oh, shit. Hey, it's Asania. Yeah. I felt like I just got to read. You just fucking went off on me. Yep. It's Asania, y'all.
Yep, and we up in this thing. The Lite-Bulb Moment podcast. You know,
like the fucking
you know what? You know how rappers are like, I'm not a rapper, I'm a preacher. Or this isn't hip hop, this is a movement. I think we need to do that for podcasting. Like, this is a podcast, this is a sermon. It's always funny when they like, man, I ain't no rapper.
I ain't no rapper, I ain't no podcaster.
I ain't no podcaster, man. I'm a
What?
Goddamn.
You lost it. Oh, the steam just went prone.
I'm an instrument. I'm a vessel.
Ooh.
Because we're all vessels. We all have different identities.
Ooh. This is a segue, motherfucker. Yes. Vessels.
Right.
Are we all vessels?
We are all vessels. And, you know, identity is just a really interesting topic. It really is.
Is it really?
Really, yeah, it is.
Why?
Because it can get really deep and go a lot of different places. Because it's kind of like when you told me we were going to talk about identity, I immediately asked myself, I was like, well, who is Deshaun? So, yeah.
That was the question that came to you.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Yeah, identity. Like, who are you?
Who are you?
Right.
Lite-Bulb Moment followers, listeners.
I remember Oprah was like, she was talking to somebody. She was like, she said, I asked everybody this question, who are you? And then the person answered, and she said, well, who are you? And they answered again. She kept like saying it. And I just thought it was really interesting.
Right.
Because there's no one word for that, you know.
Yeah, identity is composed of all the different characteristics.
Yeah, it can get kind of complex.
But do you identify with your internal or your external is the question?
Your avatar.
Ooh.
Or your spirit.
You better motherfucking go.
That was hard.
I know it was. I'm glad my hands is moist. One more time. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
You need to like say that and put it on the beat.
That clap. Do the pod with the finger, do it.
That's me pressing
The beat, for the beat.
But yeah, that's a really...
I like this identity that you have during this podcast.
Yeah, it's like they just kind of work on their own and go in and out. You know what I'm saying? They kind of come when they come.
One is a bull and one is not a bull. One is a calf.
Interesting. I feel like you're playing on my zodiac sign now.
I am.
You know, I've been told that I'm very stubborn about certain things. I guess that can fit it too. And your zodiac is part of your identity.
Ooh.
You know,
sun.
Even though you have to like combine the sun, the moon, the earth, the stars, whatever. It's like 5 zodiacs you gotta combine to make your zodiac. Then even after that, you gotta throw in the fact that this background, this. You know, identity is a real loaded. It's kind of loaded.
It is.
It is. It says a lot.
But think if somebody took time to identify and look at each one of those things and really invest and take, gather that knowledge about themselves.
Right.
Think how much more comfortable they would be with themselves. Because, so in a nutshell, the reason I presented this to you because I've had several conversations with different individuals, and I'm paying attention to just people I've been encountering, and I'm noticing that we identify more with our external connections than we do with who we are as people in general. So, like, say for instance, let me use this one because my mom is my favorite example to go to. She's my test subject. But my mom is retiring, so she doesn't know what to do with herself because all she did was work and teach.
She was a teacher.
Teach, and that was it. Right, she's a teacher. So now that she's in the school, how does she teach? Excuse me. How does she connect? How does she still get? I mean, Facebook on the slick is the way she's kind of been getting her voice out there, but she doesn't know where to go with her life from this point because really she doesn't know who she is.
She's kind of at a crossroads.
No, it's not even a crossroads. She's at a wall.
Well, I think everyone has a point in their life where they're trying to figure out what their next move.
But not even just a next move, just like, why is it so heavy that the fact that she's not teaching? Because I understand teaching is not an issue. You know, she was looking at it like monetary and so on and so forth. And I'm like, well, why are you still like, you good? You're retiring. You're going to have money. Why?
But she still want to be out there. A lot of people have that issue with retirement. They're not necessarily scared of the fixed income. They're scared that a lot of people say when you retire, you die fast. Not to put any, negativity into it, but
yeah, no, because
like my mom was like, I was like, well, when are you gonna retire? We've been asking her that since my daddy retired. He retired like maybe 10-ish years ago, something like that, maybe a little less. And we always ask her when she's gonna retire. I remember one time she was like, well, I just started liking my job. And I was like, what? And she's been on that job for like 40-something years.
But that job is something she identifies with.
Right.
That's part of who she is.
Right.
Like, part of what my mother does is part of who she is being a teacher. So how do you let that part go when you can't physically go into the school, especially when there's something greater, there's a greater cause. I mean, something bigger is calling you. Because, for instance, for my mom, she wanted to go back, but I felt like she got knocked out of teaching for a year for a reason. And then when she tried to go back, a couple of other obstacles came up that wouldn't allow her to get the job she was trying to get. And not just her, there's another individual that I converse with in my apartment complex, and she's going the same thing with her career. She needs to get out of the field. Universe came to her a long time ago and told her to get out of this field, so this is not what you're supposed to be doing. And she keeps trying to get back in that field. She's had several opportunities to try to get back in that field, and they all go flat. Like, she even got a job in that field and lost it in like probably a couple of weeks to a month. They let her go. So I'm like, you're supposed to be doing something else. You're just not getting the picture. You're not taking heed because that's what you do. That's what you identify. That's where you're comfortable at. That's something you built in your character. No different from me in the service industry. Like, it's time for me to get away from that. But that's something that I don't really even identify as a server. I don't. I just fuck with the service industry. You know what I'm saying? I understand the service industry, but I know it's time for me to go, and I respect that. So the fact that I don't identify as a server, and that's not my dream career, even when I was in video gaming, animation, or anything else, I'm just a fucking Swiss Army knife.
How much is your dream career connected to your identity? Or your career that you do, period, connected to your identity?
None at all. None at all. Two separate entities.
Right.
What I do to make money and what I do create for a career. I mean, yeah, it's something I like to do. I have passion in it, but it's not like, that's what I am and that's who I am as a person. And if I don't do that anymore, I don't know what to do with myself and with my life.
Right.
It would just be like, okay, now I'm going on to a new adventure and find something else. It's something else for me to learn. And it's something else I'm supposed to be doing. Because that's what I learned. Because, I mean, if that's the case, I would really ask what happened when I lost my shit with the whole mobile app thing. That's what I thought I was going to be. And even when I started playing games, I did identify as a gamer. And when I stopped being a gamer, I had to figure out, okay, who am I after that? That was something that I lost that was part of who I was as a person. So, but not my job, not my career. That's something else.
Right. I feel like with identities, it's something that the answer to it isn't what you say, it's more so what you kind of display it. Kind of so.
Your morals, your beliefs, your character, how you handle people.
Right.
But also, I mean, even to go deeper, again, all those things are cool, but at the end of the day, when you look at yourself, how do you place yourself within the rest of the world? Like, for instance, we were discussing earlier, cats who are in the military, when they get out of the military, because they've been trained to be that individual, that soldier.
Brainwashed.
However you want to put it. However you want to put it, you know, when they get out, they don't know how to adapt to the civilian world because they identify as that soldier. All those things, those experiences have molded them into that one particular individual. So that's all they are. That's all they know. That's who they are at that point. And I feel like it's deeper than that.
Can you change your identity?
Yeah, people do it all the time. I feel like Prince reinvented himself so many different times. As you get older, you just keep reinventing yourself. Period. And you adapt to whatever is going on in that period. If you don't, you get stuck in the time. And that's the time frame most people identify themselves. That's why I feel like if you identify yourself as a teacher, as just a flat, like, who are you? I'm such and such. Probably when Oprah was saying, I'm such and such. Okay, who are you? I'm a teacher. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? That was the shit they were probably saying. Nobody probably got to, I'm a kind, you know what I'm saying, spiritual, loving. I'm mean as hell. I'm aggressive. I'm slightly volatile. Those different, like, those characteristics, those things, that's what I identify with. Not what I do as far as, like, my career and titles.
Right.
For this external shit.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that keeps me grounded. Even with the gaming thing, that's why I didn't completely lose myself when I started playing games. It was just like, okay, it's time to do something new.
I feel like who you are can be expressed in a lot of different ways. And I feel like teaching is just a way your mom expressed herself.
Yes.
So...
But that's the thing, she doesn't realize that that's how she expressed herself because she doesn't recognize herself. She doesn't really know that part of herself. That's part of really identifying who you are. That's the whole point of really going to it.
It's probably something else that makes her heart move or whatever.
Right, there are probably so many other things that she can connect with and attach to that will help her grow and still be able to do what she's supposed to be doing. It's just in that realm, it probably wasn't getting out. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as effective anymore. So now it's time to move forward to a more effective space. A space where you'll be more effective, and you'll help more people. That's how I see it. I mean, she really does have a kind heart. I feel like I got my voice from her and my father because she has a very strong, people pay attention to what she says. You know what I'm saying? They listen to her. They hold on to her every word. Shit, right? She's affected. If I go to New Orleans, and I bring 3 people home, probably 1 out of 3 people, if not 2 out of 3 people, are gonna be emotionally or spiritually affected by the interaction with my mom. I guarantee. I've been watching this for the past 13 years since I moved to Atlanta. She affects somebody in some form or fashion. If I bring one person home, I don't know. The odds change. It's 50-50. When the more people I bring, the greater the odds are that somebody's going to be healed. But the thing is, she can do this for other people. She can't do it for herself. And I think that's the reason she can't move forward, because she hasn't done this for herself. It's been in the past 8 years doing that, trying to work on myself so I can identify who I am. And I think once you identify who you are, then you can use all your strengths to your advantage. Those people who are succeeding in life have taken time to figure out, or have had somebody around them to help root them and figure out who they are. Like,
I wouldn't if they know who they are, they just know enough. They know what they need to know to move forward. Because you're constantly learning shit. And a lot of them don't be knowing anything.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to grow and get exposed to other things, but at the end of the day, I don't think Pharrell identifies himself as Pharrell the producer. Or Pharrell, like, all the titles that they put on him, at the end of the day, that's not who. I don't think he wakes up and like, this is who I am, or like if I stop doing music that I won't. He does music because he enjoys it, but it's probably like at the same time there are other things in his life he can still do because he's just a good person for quote unquote.
I feel like when it comes like things are just kind of relative because some people are just kind of successful and they still don't know who they are. You know, and then they may feel like they're successful in this realm and not successful in that realm.
True.
You got people who don't find out who they are until they, you know, I know people who went to school, got great jobs, and quit because it turns out, you know, that, you know what, I just didn't want to do it.
You know, it's crazy. Maybe that wasn't.
It took a long time.
Maybe what we review as their success is actually just a part of their journey that's supposed to propel them to something else.
Right.
We see because they accomplished, and we can see the rewards of them accomplishing their goals. We see the success, but in all actuality, that was just like one stone to get to. And even like our hiccups, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't know how many hiccups they've gone through on their journey.
Right.
So
you don't even know if they're really happy.
Right. Like Jim Carrey is a prime Jim Carrey is a prime example of that. We looked at Jim Carrey and thought he was on top of the world.
I mean, Robin Williams.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people who's successful.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. But you know what?
And what if they knew who they were and they just didn't like it?
I think I told you this in another podcast a long time ago. I've been saw Robin Williams
going downhill.
No, not even downhill. I just saw his unhappiness, like even as a child. In the movie Peter Pan, Toy, that far back, like Toys, all that shit. His aura, his energy always seemed sad.
Off, yeah.
Yeah, even when he was trying to be woo, he seemed like a facade that he was putting on. Everybody else bought it.
I never noticed it.
I paid attention to it big time. I never.
But you pick up on auras and stuff.
Man, I'm really just starting to pay attention to it.
So is your aura a part of your identity? Or is your aura just... Because your aura can change.
Yeah, I just think your aura is the energy you get based on the state of mind you're in.
Right.
Because I know my aura shift. I think they go from blue to red to orange. Orange is cool, red is hot. Blue is cool.
Stop rubbing your leg.
I'm sorry.
Because it's going to pick up.
Oh, my bad. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, boss. Thank you, boss.
Well, yeah.
Appreciate it. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to have this conversation more than anything because I want to.
It makes you want to read some book that's probably real deep and good that talk about identities. Can y'all recommend one in the comments? I don't care if you see this tonight, next week, 5 years ago.
Give us our recommendation on the book.
On the book that's good on identity. And it reminds me of that movie Identity. But that wasn't really about identities.
I don't remember that movie.
Yeah, it was a suspenseful movie.
Was it really suspenseful?
Yeah. When I watched it the first time, yeah.
And then the second time, you was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You had that look on your face that you have right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got you. I swear I want to take that facial expression and put it on a t-shirt and then put it on the back. Yeah.
How do you identify? Also with identities, there are people who identify you and don't really give a fuck about all that other shit. They just know you as one thing.
Yes.
You are this.
But that's because we're not really looking for the variation, in people. The variations in the different characters.
But what if the people who planned all this was like, these humans down on Earth trying to figure all this out? It's just two identities. It's just...
Y'all all sharing the same shit.
It's just up and down. You are up, you are down. You are red, you are blue. You are A, you are B. You are one, you are A or something. I don't know.
I often look at the complexity of human beings. I wonder, if we
animals look at us
like what the fuck are y'all doing, man? Y'all doing way too much. Even with politics and stuff, like we doing a whole lot. We created all these extra hierarchies, and for what?
Yeah.
For what? Just to create entitlement, power, control. That's my biggest question. That is my question. If something could come along and what is the purpose of that?
That's just too much.
Nope. Because I think that's what we all wake up and why motherfuckers do what they do. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to know what their purpose is. Or some people just like, fuck it after a while. I'm just here. I'm just ride this motherfucker out.
I think just because you don't know your purpose doesn't mean you won't fulfill it.
No, I don't think, I'm not going to say that.
Like, your purpose was to do the shit that you
Just
do.
because of the absence, I don't know how that line goes.
The ignorance of your purpose, I guess.
I mean, does not mean that it does not exist.
Right.
So true. I agree with you. But I want people to go out and just sit still and actually, or move while listening to binaural beats. Binaural beats. And actually take time to like look at you and see what you identify. Do you identify with something externally as your car, your house, your family, your child, your children, your mother?
What do you call yourself?
For me?
I just said in general, like.
Do you identify as a father? Do you identify as a human being? What do you identify with? What makes you tick? If you were to lose that thing, would you still be able to function without it? Would you still move? Would you still operate?
I'm a person. That's the only thing I can come up with. Like, I'm a person.
Well, as long as I was in New Orleans until the ship, and I had to leave, and it wasn't home, didn't feel like home. So I don't really identify with New Orleans the way I did.
I'm a spirit.
That too. That way. Say it again.
I'm a spirit. But
this was a better episode.
It was.
I like this
It
one.
was like a regular episode.
I think that tongue lashing that we got, that mouth lashing, kind of inspired.
Ooh, bitch, you real hurt, okay? But
I don't feel any crazy energy.
binaural beats is actually a good topic, though. We just need to look more into
We
it.
gotta get down on it.
Cause like I said, I've been listening to it for the longest.
And never paid attention to it.
It's like I did, but I didn't. For a minute, I was about to sell binaural beats in some type of marketing type thing. Yeah. So, yeah. I feel like it's not a whole lot to know about it, though.
I think the reason that we don't know enough about it is the reason we don't have discussions about it.
You don't know because you don't know.
All right, we're wrapping it up. Coming to the end.
Wrap it up.
I hope this inspired somebody to go really look deep within themselves and really look at how they operate and the things that make them tick and what they identify with internally and externally. And really, really, truly pay attention to it and be aware of it. Don't just get that knowledge and then sit on it.
Ooh, you know a great movie? Is it called The Notebook? I don't know what it's called. But it's this movie, and she gets amnesia. And it turns out...
Oh, that's the one when he's sitting there and
I think her family convinced her to be a lawyer. Right? I'm talking about the same thing.
I don't know.
Okay, so... Again, if y'all figure out what I'm talking about, feel free. 5
Put it
years
in the
from now, put it in the
comments.
comments.
It's The Notebook, bitch!
But it's a great movie.
It's The Notebook!
I don't think it's called The Notebook, but it's like The Notebook. In the movie, they were like, the girl, her parents convinced her to like, just because I don't know right now, to go to law school. But she ended up dropping out because she actually wanted to be an artist. But then she got amnesia. And then when she was coming out of her amnesia, her parents got her to go back to law school. But then, again, she ended up not wanting to finish law school, and she ended up going back to be an artist. So it's almost like her identity wasn't going to let her
what she wasn't supposed to do.
Like her soul was kind of pushing her to do other regardless. Like even if you lose your memory, you still that person, so you're still going to go in that path because that's where your heart is going to lead you to.
Maybe,
I just thought it was
maybe if you had amnesia, it was like resetting. It's like a reset. Back to your default. Ooh.
That too.
Ooh, that way. So now you just going to react off of muscle memory and instinct.
It's almost like you are who you are, and you're going to react how you react.
The memories are just experiences.
Yeah.
or just time?
Like the chemical or
Oh, I hope y'all can find out the name of this movie so we can
line up,
listen
how they
in
line
it.
up,
No,
and
I'm
you
just
gonna be
fucking
who you
around.
gonna be.
Just fucking around.
Like that's just who you are.
That's
Even if
what's
someone came, even if like circumstances change, and you know what, Deshaun, you got to be a police officer for some reason, but you still are going to like have the mind of an artist in some way or something, and you know.
So you'll be an artistic police officer.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I just thought that was a really good
You'll
message.
be an artificer.
Yeah. Officer. Thank y'all so much for listening.
I got a bad smile and fucked up like, what the fuck? An artificer. Okay. Yo, appreciate it, man. Shouts out to all the followers, all support. We appreciate any love we get.
For sure.
It's Awesomenia17 on Instagram, Awesomenia on Facebook. Check out Lite-Bulb Moment on Instagram. Follow us on IG, YouTube, Spotify. Ooh, what is it? Come on. iTunes, Anchor, Breaker, Himalaya, all of them. The whole shebang bang. Sphincter clench. All right, let's do it.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.